You will lose your stack sooner or later. You will have horrible days at poker, but you also have great days, amazing days, especially if you're a profitable player, and do the best decision you can, because that's your job, making the best decision you can always. SKC asked, good game. What was the result of your entire Las Vegas trip? You probably are asking from the last one. I stood 17 days in Vegas last time. My profit was $5,000 total, but I don't know how many hours I played. And here is one insight for you guys. I'm way more interested in my hourly rate than how much I made in total. Especially if this hourly rate is into like a lot of hours. Let's say I have an hourly rate of $60 an hour in 1,000 hours. That's great, because then I have a reliable information to see that my hourly is around $60 an hour. And then I can start making decisions taking that hourly rate as a source of information. So I'm gonna put in the screen what was my hourly rate in the last Las Vegas trip, because I have to see in this cell phone. But that's my advice to you. Focus on your hourly rate for cash game, because that's one of the most important numbers you can have access to it. And you can only get that if you have information on Poker Bankroll Tracker. That is the app that I just advise you to download. QDA asked, I watched your vlog for a while. I really want to ask you about how did you build your bankroll and manage it in the best way? Great question, QDA. I play poker for 9 years now, so my bankroll is being built since I was 17 years old when I played. When building your bankroll, it doesn't matter only how much you make in poker, but it also matters how much you spend outside poker. Because I saw myself many times making a lot of money in poker, but going to parties and spending a lot too. So that was a mistake that I made when I was 18 and 19 years old. Today I don't make that mistake anymore. Today all the money I make, I invest on myself. And when I say invest on myself, but it also includes investments in courses, food, Airbnbs, trips. I put my money in everything I think is gonna be a plus EV decision for me, in poker and outside of poker. So my advice to you when you're building your bankroll, be mindful of how you spend your money outside of the tables too, and do the best you can to make the best decision inside the table so you get better results. The better your results at poker and the less your spending outside of poker, the more your bankroll will grow and the more space you will have to go up in stakes. I hope I answered your questions, QDA. 9J Dyla asked, is it better to always do the max buy-in? If you are the best player at the table, most likely yes, because the most chips you have available at the table, the more you can stack people. But I would also put an observation for your bankroll, because let's say you have $10,000 and you're playing a 2-5 game that the max buy-in is $1,000. You can still be the best player at the table, but $10,000, if you buy in for the max, which is 1,000, you have only 10 buy-ins. And I personally don't like to play with only 10 buy-ins, because I know many times I'm going to lose my stack, and then I'm going to go to 9, and then I might go to 8, and then I might go to 7, and then I'm pressured. And I don't like to play pressure. It's actually the opposite. I like to put pressure on people who are playing pressured. In my opinion, the ideal bankroll for cash game is 20 buy-ins. So in case you have $20,000, you should play with $1,000 if you are one of the best tables at the table. So if you have $20,000 and you want to play a game of $1,000 buy-in and you are the best at the table or one of the best, I think you should do that. But if your bankroll is not the ideal in this situation, I would advise you to buy in for an amount that you're comfortable playing with and that you are not fearful of losing all your stack while you're playing. Because man, you will lose your stack sooner or later. You will have horrible days at poker, but you also have great days, amazing days, especially if you're a profitable player. So be mindful about your bankroll and your buying in the tables and do the best decision you can, because that's your job, making the best decision you can always. The better your decisions, the better your result. Simple as that. Eli NS, dropped out of college? Whoa, don't want to have a backup plan just in case? Eli, to be very honest with you, I don't see college as a good backup plan for me. Like, what would I do with that degree? Work for somebody else? I honestly realized that I like to work for myself and that I can scale my business using internet to do that. So I'm pretty much going all in this project. I am a profitable poker player for more than 9 years now, and I know I can help you guys out to make better results at poker. This thing can or cannot work out, okay? But I don't see college as such a good backup plan as many people do. And I just felt staying 2 more years to graduate in economics was kind of a waste of time for me. I hope it was a good decision. and in 2 years I look back and say, man, thank God you did that. If I didn't believe that was the best decision, I wouldn't take it. Because man, I am a professional poker player, but I am also a decision maker. I see myself as a decision maker. Every day I try to make the decisions that take me a little closer to my goal, and I hope in the end it's all worth it. Justin Hart asked about seat and table changing per session. How often do you make these changes, and how important you think it is to do that? Man, I think it's highly important. I think you should always be aware of who you're playing against, because poker, again, is a zero-sum game that for you to make money, other person necessarily has to lose. So, strategically speaking, it's better for you to play against a person that is bad at the game than against a person that is good at the game. So I'm always aware of what type of table I'm at. And if I think in the table I'm at right now, I'm making $10, $20 an hour only, I'd rather try a new table because I value my time. I want to make my time playing poker the most valuable as I can. So for example, right now, I was playing here at the cash game in Rio, the 1-3. The table was full of nits, tight players who weren't playing almost any hand. And I said, you know what? I'm going to get out of here. I'm going to make this video for you guys. And then I'm going to go to Bellagio, so I can see if there's a better 2-5 game there. And if I sit at the 2-5 and I think this table is not good enough, I'm going to go to another 2-5. If I go to the other 2-5 and this table is great, I'm going to stay at the table as long as the table is good. I'm not the player that says, oh, I'm going to play for 2 hours now and that's it. No, if I find a good table, I'm going to play at the table as long as I can. Because I know that my time at that table is way more valuable than the time I was spending in the table right here at the Rio. So how often I change seats? I change seats as often as I think it's good for me.
Alright guys, if you watched this video so far, probably means you're interested for more contents like this. So if you're interested, maybe you have a question. If you do, leave it down below that I'm gonna try to answer the best questions as fast as I can. I'm really doing my best to generate as much value as I can to you. I hope I'm achieving that goal, and see you later.